shortly. Raymond, Nam1, that is the biggest story really that started over the weekend. You were working during the weekend, and
Yes.
we have some new details to share.
Okay, so what we did know is that there were several reports and reports of his arrest in the UAE, Dubai specifically. So we found out from the CID first port of call. The CID said they had not heard anything like that. They were in the throes of getting to the authorities in the country that he's alleged to have been arrested, and we'll get back to us on that. We tried other sources from airport security to other places with the intent that we'll be able to gather all the information required in this case. Now, the connection we've heard from all the reports and all the strings you can put together is there was some form of a gold business happening with he and his partners. Indeed, he had not in any way defaulted in that particular case. It was his partner who is said to have been engaged in this. So he was, it looks like, lured there over the same business, and then the authorities there, because he had been reported already, arrested him with the hope that they can get to his partner and others who were directly involved in this particular scam, so that it can be dealt with in a much more appropriate way. One of the things that came out, which is pretty much instructive, is the element of some amount of money that he was taking there. It's alleged that he took almost 38 million in terms of gold, US dollars, to the
38
place.
million US dollars.
Yes, to the place. And this is the other thing that we are yet to fully confirm.
Okay.
And as we speak now, many of the information we're getting are from the third sources, but not ones that are really ones you can put out there, as in you can quote. That's why we've been extraordinarily careful about what kind of information we have in this
Now,
case.
Fred Smith, Joy News editor, has joined us in the studio. Fred has been gathering information from various sources on this matter, and he will be joining us. He'll be briefing us on what we have so far. Good morning again, Fred.
Hi, good morning, Daniel.
Great. Before we come in, Fred, Justice Shremsai is a law lecturer at GIMPA. He has also been raising a few questions about this issue. Good morning, Justice Sai. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning, and good morning to your listeners.
Good. So you have some concerns about the fact that Nam1 has been arrested, if I can use that expression, has been reportedly arrested in Dubai. Can we hear them?
Thank you very much. This is a question of extradition. So we've heard that we have our police service, our authorities have alerted Interpol members to help in his apprehension and extradition to Ghana. Now, if you take extradition under international law, there are two main steps involved. One is when you send the notice across and the person is apprehended. The second part becomes the judicial part, where the person is brought before a court, and then the extradition application is heard and determined. Now, what is going to happen, at least by the information we have, we know he is in Dubai.
So Justice, what we're going to do now, and I'll crave your indulgence that you hold on a second for me, because we want to draw a full circle with the information we have so that you can speak to it more holistically. Fred is here, and he's been gathering information from various sources, and he'll give us those details. So Justice Shremsai is our guest on the line. He's a law lecturer at GIMPA, and Fred Smith is our editor here at Joy News, and he is going to give us a briefing on exactly what we know so far. Fred.
Well, what we know from multiple sources, some within the security agencies, some within government, is that indeed he has been arrested, and this happened some time back. It's not because of this crisis we have at our hand. It's because of an unrelated issue. We do understand that this company, Horizon Royal Diamonds DMCC, it's a Dubai-based company. Nana Appiah Mensah, we understand, introduced some other persons to this company so they can supply the company gold. What happened was that these persons Nana Appiah Mensah introduced to them did not supply the gold as was promised. So they ran away with the money. They can't find them. So the closest they can get to is Nana Appiah Mensah. And the information we have is that Nana Appiah Mensah promised that he was going to supply them the gold if those guys could not supply them. So Horizon took delivery of the gold. is close to $40 million, and he went there to collect his money. And before he did, Horizon had to write an undertaking to ensure, assure him that when he comes to Dubai, nothing is going to happen to him, nobody's going to arrest him, just because he introduced those who've absconded with their money. Now, here I'll give you details of this undertaking from them. It's written to Mr. Fred, addressed to Mr. Fred Frimpong. He's the board chairman, Men's Gold Ghana Company Limited in Accra, Ghana. A declaration to effect that number one, Men's Gold Ghana Company Limited, with its Chief Executive Officer Nana Appiah Mensah, is not in any way connected to Horizon Royal Diamonds business dealings with Just Gold Company Limited. Now, Just Gold Company Limited, Daniel, these are the guys Nana Appiah Mensah introduced to Horizon Royal Diamonds Company Limited.
Mm-hmm.
So it continues that Men's Gold is not liable, cannot be held responsible for any claim whatsoever. Horizon Royal Diamond extends an invitation to Men's Gold Ghana Company Limited's delegation to pay a business visit to Dubai to discuss and conclude pending business relationship. Horizon Royal Diamonds hereby undertakes and guarantees Men's Gold Ghana Company Limited's delegation the best hospitality and security whilst in Dubai. And it's signed by their legal, somebody in their legal department. So it's based on this invitation that Nana Appiah Mensah, number one, went to Dubai to raise some money. And the understanding we're having is that that money would have been enough to settle a lot of the claims being made by their clients. Unfortunately, the company had been duped by the Just Gold Company.
That is, Horizon had been duped by Just Gold.
Okay. And so, the money involved was $51 million, definitely above what Nana Appiah Mensah was doing with them.
Okay.
And so they decided to hold him, to get him arrested, so he can provide details about where the Just Gold officials would be.
So that is Horizon decided to have Nana Appiah Mensah arrested.
Indeed.
So that he can produce the Just Gold people.
Indeed.
Even though they had written an undertaking that they know he has no dealings with Just Gold and his security is assured.
Indeed. So the nearly $40 million that the business that he did with Horizon is still there. It's intact. It's possible that money can come, so he will use that to settle the clients who are currently demanding their monies.
Right, Fred Smith, thank you so much. So this is what we know so far.
This is what we know, but the other information we picked up is that yesterday our security agencies stormed the home of number one's father. It's in the central region, Cape Coast to be specific, and they spoke to him about the whereabouts of his son. The money to establish contact with him. I understand an officer actually spoke to him via telephone from where he is in Dubai. We understand he's currently in detention, and from where he is able to call anyone he wishes, especially because he's a foreigner, he needs to get in touch with people, but he does that under supervision.
So this is not an Interpol arrest?
From what we know now, it is not an Interpol arrest. In fact, the directive to Interpol was issued way after he had been picked up, from the current information we have.
And from the information we have, can we pinpoint the exact date he was picked up? Because some are saying he was picked up on Saturday. Some are saying he was picked up somewhere December 4. Some are saying late December. Does the information we have indicate that?
Well, we're having conflicting information on when specifically. We've heard December 4, we've heard Saturday. In fact, on Friday, we had heard that he had been picked up, if you recall.
Yes.
None of them has been confirmed yet. But what is clear in all of that is that he is currently under
arrest in Dubai.
Exactly.
Thank you very much, Fred Smith, for giving us those details. And we have been speaking with our sources in Interpol as well, who are telling us that they are coordinating with their colleagues and counterparts in Dubai to get the official confirmation, and that they need to get the official confirmation through their secure communication lines before they can put it out officially that this man has been caught. if you would know that, when the police PRO speaks, I use that expression loosely, the director of public affairs, when he speaks for Interpol as well. Yes. And so when the head of the CID, DCOP Mamia Tiwa Adodankwa, is speaking as well, she speaks for the police as a unit. Yes. And I'm making these points because from her quarters as well, no confirmation has been gotten as of now, and they are still working to get that official confirmation before they put it out. So this is what we know so far. Thanks, Fred. And we'll go back to the phone lines now and get that analysis from Justice Shrem's side. So the question on the minds of many, Justice, I would be: can Nawan be brought back to Ghana to face justice for the charges leveled against him here?
Yeah, thank you, Daniel. Like I have said, in any extradition proceeding, there are two main steps. The first step has to do with the executive arm of government. So they receive the information, they get the person arrested. Once they get the person arrested, they need to go through a court proceeding for the person to be, extradited to the country which is making the request. Now, during the court hearing, a lot of things may come up. And also during the arrest and the decision whether to process him for court, a lot of things may come up. Every analysis I'm going to make is subject to the issues of diplomacy. This also means that the legal aspect aside, extradition is substantially a diplomatic process. So politically, countries may decide to sidestep the law and do what is better for what is good for their interests. So now let's go to the analysis. Now we know he has been arrested and for an unrelated offense. We also know that by the information, he's being processed for a bail. We also know that within maybe in 2 days or so, the bail proceedings may be over. Now the question is, if since we are looking for him, Ghana will take this opportunity to kickstart its extradition proceedings with the United Arab Emirates, where Dubai is. Now, what may happen is that Ghana may make a formal request for him to be sent back to Ghana. But that request, if accepted, he would have to be processed in court. In court, these are some of the things that will come up. The state prosecution, which is currently handling him for a crime which he is suspected to have committed in Dubai, would have to make a case before the court whether they are willing or whether he is free to go. In other words, if the bail condition is getting there, allows him to come to Ghana, then it means that we are about 50% through the extradition proceedings and through having him here in Ghana. Now, the other scenario is, how about if the bail conditions there do not allow him to leave Dubai until the matter for which he has been arrested is fully determined? What that also means is that irrespective of whatever request Ghana may make to United Arab Emirates, we may not have him here in Ghana until and unless they are through with that process. Now, since it's a criminal proceedings that is brought against him there, it is likely that he may be granted some bail or may be put on remand again. And we also know that criminal proceedings will involve trial. If that also happens and it doesn't happen quickly, and then he may not still come. What about if the trial ends and he has to be whatever it is, it's a crime and he has to be sentenced to imprisonment? What it also means is that then he would have to stay longer in Dubai than we expect. So put all this together, and it becomes a bit difficult to hope that we may have him in Ghana immediately simply because we know his whereabouts.
Now, Justice, we know that Interpol is interested in this case, hence this red alert that has been issued in 194 countries. Does that not bring it to bear, considering the fact that he's now wanted internationally?
Okay, so thank you. Let me just explain how Interpol works. Interpol is not a standing police force. Interpol is merely an administrative setup to coordinate police services throughout the world. So, for example, in Ghana here, we have Interpol, units in the Ghana Police Service. But whichever work Ghana Police Service will do in relation to anyone who is in Ghana and is wanted under Interpol Red Alert will be done by the Ghana Police Service. The same thing applies in United Arab Emirates. So even though the alert is sent to Interpol, Interpol is merely a conduit to alert the United Arab Police Service that we are looking for this person in Ghana. When you find them, kindly arrange for extradition proceedings to begin. So Interpol doesn't really have any hand to arrest or do anything. Whatever will happen will still have to happen under the laws of United Arab Emirates, under the laws of United Arab Emirates, which is what I explained earlier, that the proceedings there is that he's arrested, he has to be brought before a court for extradition proceedings, which is a judicial process, and then when all is said and done, one of the things that, from experience, one of the things that stop extradition proceedings is when there is a crime, when the person who is being is supposed to be extradited already has a criminal proceedings against him. What it means is that every country, every sovereign state would like to execute its law first before thinking of that of another country. So here, United Arab Emirates would like to exhaust or to finish up its trial before handing him over to Ghana. And my concern is that it may take longer than we probably expect if the proceedings there, don't end early.
Okay. Now, Just Gold, which is one of the companies involved in this, is a Ghanaian Nigerian company. So if that gold, which became the bone of contention between Horizon, Just Gold, and Nana Appiah Mensah, if that gold was procured in Ghana or Nigeria, how does that affect where the case will be tried?
So in international trade, depending on the law involved, sometimes a contract terminates, a contract is deemed to be executed where the acceptance is made. From the fact we have, it appears the buyers were in Dubai. And
Yes.
we do not know where the gold was actually, sold. So it may be that the sellers are Ghanaian Nigerian company, but the transaction, it appears, took place in United Arab Emirates. Now, all we need to do is to find out whether United Arab Emirates has jurisdiction over the matter. And from the fact we have, it appears they have jurisdiction. It also doesn't mean that Ghana doesn't have jurisdiction. Ghana and United Arab Emirates may have jurisdiction concurrently. However, it is dependent on United Arab Emirates. Since they have the subject matter, that is the person in question, they have the right of first refusal. They may decide whether to, release him to Ghana or not. And Ghana doesn't have much to say about that. They have to decide. So if their laws or their diplomatic procedures conclude and they decide that, no, we have to finish with whatever we have to do with him first, it means that irrespective of whether Ghana has jurisdiction, even in this gold trade case or another case, the person may not come to Ghana immediately.
Now, just aside, so you were saying earlier, before you said anything, and you've alluded to it now, that all your analysis is subject to the diplomatic procedure. So in simple terms, does that mean that Ghana's government can begin negotiating with that of the UAE to have Nana Appiah Mensah brought here, irrespective of these legal lay-down protocols that you've explained to us this morning?
Yes, precisely. From experience and having done some of these proceedings here in Ghana, while this is going on, the two countries at the diplomatic level would be having their discussions. In fact, it gets to a point where the client, the subject matter, that's the person who will be extradited, himself and his team of lawyers would have to meet with this government official and decide that, look, this is what we are offering, this is what we think you want, this is what is good for you. So it's a whole, what we call a round of negotiation that goes on between the government, the requesting state, the state that is holding the person, and also the person himself and his team of lawyers would have to decide what to happen. So it may end up being that, irrespective of what the law says, the subject matter here, Namwan himself may say, well, I would prefer to come to Ghana for trial, and that ends the discussion. He will just be put on plane and brought back. It may also happen that he may say, well, looking at all the options, I want to remain in Dubai and face that trial over there. And when I'm done, and there's any case in Ghana, I want you to now send me back. So apart from the legal position, these are some of the things that will be considered in the whole process.
Shed some more light again on how it becomes the choice of Nana Appiah Mensah. Explain that part again for us.
Okay, so in this case, sometimes the law in the sending state, that is the state holding him, may not allow him to be sent to Ghana. Okay, because of some circumstances, the law may not allow him to be sent to Ghana. But so legally speaking, he has the right to remain in Dubai. Now, Dubai may not be interested in keeping him because they probably have a good relationship with Ghana and want to do what Ghana wants. So they may not be interested in keeping him there. But don't forget that if he has a legal right under the laws of United Arab Emirates to remain there, it doesn't matter what the authorities think. He and his lawyers will explore that option and insist that that right to stay in United Arab Emirates should be allowed. In that case, you can see that since Dubai is not interested, Ghana is interested in him, and he has a right which he may waive or enforce, then it falls squarely within his, determination to decide, well, I want to insist on my right here and remain in United Arab Emirates, or I want to go to Ghana where I want to be, tried. So this is one of the circumstances under which he has the right to determine what to do or where to go.
So which one would you say is more superior? Our wanted list, which of course is being displayed on Interpol's website, well, not Interpol's website, Interpol's secure communications across 194 countries, or Dubai or United Arab Emirates' current legal proceedings and their jurisdiction?
Well, the United Arab Emirates legal position supersedes whatever Interpol has to say. Because, you see, like I said, Interpol doesn't determine extradition. It deals with arrest of the person. So they search for the person, they arrest the person. Once they get hold of the person, they hand him over to the legal authorities and the courts to determine. So in this case, the law of the interest or the law of United Arab Emirates will override whatever. It's not even override because there's even no conflict in the first place between Interpol arrest and the laws of United Arab Emirates. So the law of the domestic laws of United Arab Emirates would prevail over whatever Interpol has to say.
So from what you're saying, Justice Ike, would it be fair to make the conclusion that, considering the fact that Dubai or UAE has to try him first and find him guilty, considering the fact that if he is found guilty, it becomes the choice of UAE to extradite him, considering the fact that if he is not found guilty, it becomes the choice of the individual himself whether or not to come to Ghana or to stay in UAE, can we then say that it's not likely that he will come to Ghana anytime soon?
Well, yeah, I mean, when you put it that way, it's not likely that he will come to Ghana very soon. It's not likely that he will come to Ghana very soon.
In my summary, have I missed anything that could, change things and make him come to Ghana soon enough?
Yes, what will make him come to Ghana soon is that if the United Arab Emirates prosecutors dismiss the case against him, and the United Arab Emirates authorities think that they want to send him to Ghana, he may come even the following morning.
And that is based on legal proceedings?
Yeah, that is based on legal proceedings.
And the diplomatic ties that Ghana has with Dubai?
Precisely.
Okay, thank you very much, Justice Shremsai, for joining us. It has been
a
very, very enlightening morning speaking with Justice Shremsai this morning. So you heard in the short summary that I gave that, first of all, Dubai has the first right of refusal. That's what, according to Justice Shremsai, that means that they have to, first of all, try him there. If they find him guilty, it is within their rights to make him even serve time there before we think of getting him. If he's not found guilty, that means that Nana Appiah Mensah himself then has the right to choose whether he will come back to Ghana or he will stay in Dubai. And finally, if indeed during the legal proceedings the diplomatic ties between Ghana and United Arab Emirates work out very well and Ghana is able to have UAE extradite him to Ghana, then of course he comes home and faces justice for his crimes. But that's what we have so far. Fred Smith, thank you very much. There's been so much information that you've given us this morning, but is there anything more?
Well, so in the next few minutes, we expect to get at least someone on record because the national security clearance, those who have the information are trying to get clearance so they can speak to it. The police in Dubai are also trying to get clearance so they can speak to it. And we've done enough work on that. In the next few minutes, we should get someone speaking to this issue.
Thank you very much, Fred Smith, for joining us this morning with all of this information that we need. This is a Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. I am Daniel Daze. What we're going to do is we're going to take these important messages when we come back. By the time we come back, we are expecting to get that confirmation, and we are working the phone lines to get representatives of Men's Gold, the company, and try also to get some more perspective on this matter from the experts. So stay with us. It's going to be an interesting next few minutes. This is the Super Morning Show. Stay with us.
It's a new day. I want you to first think big, not small. Think of how great we can be when we work together. Together, we can ensure that our hard work will provide a better future. Together, we can provide a foundation for you and your business to succeed, regardless of its size. Together, we can create opportunities for all. Bank with us today and let's journey forward together. Forward together. Cowbank, forward together.
The other day, as I was in my kitchen preparing my special jollof made with lily rice for my family, I heard a knock at the door. It was my mechanic. Instead of calling me to pick my car, he bought it himself. I said, "Cho," he said, "F-O." I said, "Take the car back. I will come and pick it myself." As I turned off the fire from under the lily jollof, there was another knock at the door. It was my neighbor. I said, neighbor. He said, "F-O, my dog has jumped your wall again, oh." I said, "Don't be silly. You don't have a dog." My wife and kids came home, and we saw that he enjoyed. Cho, it was my pastor. He said, "Bless you." I said, "Bless you too." He said, "Did he come to church on Saturday?" I said, "Acho, but why are you coming to tell me this on Wednesday?"
Having to fend off visitors at mealtimes because of Lele's tasty aromatic rice? Celebrate every mealtime by sharing with friends and family near or far. Lele, tasty food, happy family.
Acho. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the Food and Drugs Authority.
At Afrodan, we believe that many of the problems people have with their health is as a result of the way they sit. In other words, your chair can kill you. Here's Dr. Marcus Mann of the Chiropractic and Wellness Center.
What you have to remember is that the spine is the lifeline to your body, and posture is the window to that spine. Now, posture is affected by your daily activities and habits like sitting. That's why at the Chiropractic and Wellness Centers, we recommend what I believe to be the best chairs available for preventing not only subluxations, but also other health problems that you may not be aware of. And that's Rabami and Mobilex chairs. Unfortunately, on a daily basis, I have to correct the effects of this poor sitting habit in our businessmen and businesswomen. Always remember, optimal spine equals optimum health.
So, for the sake of your health, buy Rabami or Mobilex chairs from Afrodan. We're on the first floor of the Swansea Shopping Arcade. Telephone 663-085.
Super Morning Show.
You're welcome back. It's 24 minutes to the top of the hour here on the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. I am Daniel Daze. Thanks for staying with us. We have been joined on the line by Dr. Kwesi Enin. He's the head of faculty at the Kofi Annan International Peacekeeping and Training Center, the security and international affairs expert. Good morning, Dr. Enin. Thanks so much for your time.
Well, hi, thank you. Good morning.
So, Dr. Enin, one of the major concerns that was raised when the agitation around Men's Gold, particularly the customer scheme, was the security implications on the nation. Now, we are hearing word that Nana Piamenta has been found. Would you say that situation has changed or it's still volatile?
No, I think it's extremely volatile. And I think the handling and the communication around Men's Gold has been extremely ineffective and downright incompetent. Let me try to give you two particular examples. Majority of those who have saved with Men's Gold are small savers, ordinary people who have been presented with a scheme that they thought was legal and therefore have pulled in their monies to invest. Now, the narrative around such people or these investments have been that, oh, well, look, we really don't care. You people are very greedy. so you put your money in there. Now, which is wrong? When you live in a functional state, the regulatory and oversight institutions must ensure that criminal enterprises are not successful. Now, in the position in which I occupy, my background is routinely checked when I want to do things. Critical intelligence and oversight and regulatory institutions check my background. I remember once I was going to do an activity and my background was checked. And they wanted to go back to my schooling days in Denmark. And I said, look, but why don't you check where I am now? They said, no, we need to go all the way back. So it is the failure of state institutions to check the background of this individual. That is number one. The failure to check the background of the people around him in his team. And more importantly, the third one, the networks that supported the con game and allowed ordinary people to get into the struggle. So the manner in which the narrative is handled from official sources is very important. Because if official institutions failed and did not work, and you are now blaming me, an ordinary person, then I think it releases or it raises anger, disaffection, pain. And when all those things come together, and we are talking about fairly huge numbers, they can become a little bit difficult to control.
Now, Doc, a quick one on the points that you just raised, as in they should have checked Nana Piamenta and his cohorts as you were checked in the past. They have argued in the past, I'm talking about government institutions like the BOG, that Namwan was not regulated. He was operating outside their ambit, so that, for instance, they could not apply the fit and proper test to him at the time. And that is why, for instance, they resorted to public warnings because he was operating outside their regulatory framework.
What was the language of the public warnings? You see, communication is not just the words that you use. They must be framed and presented in a manner that people appreciate and understand the seriousness. Look, the storytelling and the alleged collusion by important people in allowing some of these things to go on raises concern. And I think it is crucial that people should not come back and try to wiggle out of their failures. Look, how did Namwan escape his bail? Will those who failed to check him and prevent his escape also say that, well, we told the people of Ghana he was a con man, and therefore, if they themselves did not arrest him and we have failed in arresting him, that is not our responsibility? There's a dangerous development beginning in this country where when institutions fail and when they fail woefully to act, that may have dangerous implications on community and societal stability. They use unnecessary English words. Speak in a manner that assuages people's fears, deals with their hurt, and tackles their pain. Dismissiveness can be dangerous, and it is beginning to manifest. A word to the wise is always enough. But in this case, it doesn't seem to be so.
Speaking of...
We need to assuage these people's fears and to listen to them and to find ways of saying, how can those who have been criminally liable also be dealt with? We cannot let it hang.
you've already given some answers to my next question because I was going to.
As an old school teacher, I have a tendency to do that, but I hope they were the correct answers.
Yes. So let me ask it well, so that if there is more that you need to add, because my curiosity was that now we just spoke with Justice Remsai, a lawyer quite experienced in these matters, who tells us it is highly possible that Nam1 will not land in Ghana anytime soon. Yeah. Save the diplomatic dealings that Ghana has with United Arab Emirates. That may not happen. So, considering that it's a possibility, and from your saying that the situation security-wise is very volatile, how would you propose, what handling would you propose to government and the security agency so things do not get out of hand?
Well, let me take the government and the security agencies out of my answer because they will then get angry. And then their anger will be channeled towards me. You see, one is the language. When you are a representative of a state, and X number of your citizens are hurting, and you come up and say, look, people, guys, you are very, very greedy. That is why you fell into this trap. So look, the wahala is your own. You are on your own. That is wrong communication. Okay? My concern is the symbolism of the communication. How do we assuage people's heads, their fears, and their pain? Okay, there are other things I can say. I will leave it now. But when people get angry and life is not worth living, others will capitalize on that anger and turn it into something else. And when all your life savings are lost, and those who stole those monies are enjoying, and those who can help you are dismissive, okay? The Adentan riots taught us a lesson. The tech demonstrations taught us a lesson. But we don't seem to be learning very much out of those lessons. I'll say it again. A word to the wise should be enough.
Thank you very much, Dr. Kwesi Enin, for your time this morning. He is the head of faculty at the Kofi Annan International Peacekeeping and Training Center. So he has centered a lot on the posturing, Raymond, of the regulatory agencies and government in general in all of this matter. He agrees with the school of thought that government could have done more and did not. He says that government, by their pronunciations now, are, to quote him, trying to wiggle out of their responsibility. And he believes, most likely, very key, that going forward, governments must watch their communication so that we don't have something like a KNUST riots or an Adenta riots. There's still a lot more perspective that we are getting on this matter. To be honest, let me just be honest with listeners that we have been working the phone lines to get the Men's Gold PRO for hours. Because here is the case where the last time that Niyama Amatefio spoke on this platform, he told us clearly that Nam1 is working abroad to get money to pay back his customers. That's what he said. And I've had someone ask me here, why do we need Nam1 specifically? Why can't his company just be sued to settle his debts? We know the status of the Kumasi case. That's one of the properties that was supposed to be sold to settle the customers. Someone has filed an interpleader that property is not for Men's Gold. They were renting it from him. And his PRO has said that he was out there looking for money in one of these deals. Now he's in jail in Dubai.
And again, if we look at the structure of how Men's Gold is operating and the reality that we know and have come to know, the structure is always pretty simple. If you have some people who have funds who present it first and they are paid interest on it, the dividends they get to be paid, at a point in time, they'll run out of money. If there are no fresh dividends, payments coming on board.
Yes.
We did know that as far back as September 2018, government stopped Men's Gold from getting more payments from people, as in monies that they were going to deposit or buy the gold with, in this case. This is where the problem became very serious. Because as schemes like that have been known to operate, fresh money is used to pay existing customers, and so far as there are fresh customers coming on board,
Yeah.
the existing customers will get their money.
Yeah.
Immediately, fresh customers cease, existing customers will get problems.
Okay.
So I understood the PR saying that we didn't have some stash of money anywhere in our coffers. The man is out there looking for money to come and pay them because there are no fresh customers coming on board. I hope you get that difference there.
Interesting.
So that is where it was clear to me that.
But Raymond, to be fair, this was your understanding of the PRO statement.
Yes, it makes sense under the circumstance for the man to now go and look for money out there to come and pay.
Okay.
Because ordinarily, if it were to be any other depositing taking institution, we would have had the money there to pay the people when these problems came in. I hope you get the difference.
But now the money is not there.
Because this money, fresh ones come in and they are used to pay existing customers. You don't have any stash of money hidden somewhere. So you may rely on parties and other people who can provide the cash in this case. And if it is true, the transaction of almost $38 million US, I think that can go a long way in trying to mitigate the kind of problems they're having in their institutions currently.
It's actually even $39 million, close to 40. Thanks a lot, Raymond. Of course, always very insightful having conversations with you on the show. It's 10 minutes to the top of the hour. Well, 11 minutes to the top of the hour here on the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. And we are in the studio now with Richmond Kwame Frimpong. He's a life coach and a man who wears so many hats. I don't know which one to begin with. Richmond, good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning, Daniel.
Great to see you this morning.
Great to see you too.
Yes, Richmond is here to talk to us. He's here to talk to us about the time wasters that stand between us and the achievement of our goals this year. However, we promised you this morning that we'll be talking about the N1 footbridge. So what we're going to do is that we're going to take these messages, come back, take a quick stop at the N1, and then we have that conversation with Richmond as he takes us to the end of a successful 2019. It's a packed morning here on the Super Morning Show. Every single minute of it is meaningful to you, I hope. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
This is the sound of a busy city, a sound of a connected